Hi, this is Bumleg Books. I'm Jennifer, and today I'm going to be reviewing The Wise Man's Fear by Patrick Rothfuss. This is the second book, Day 2 in the Kingkiller Chronicles, and it's even better than the first book. It's seriously, this series has got to be my favorite series of all time. I already have tattoos planned and bookshelf ideas for what I want to do with this book. I wish I was an artist so I could draw the characters how I thought they would look, because it's just that good. Like, I'm just obsessed with it. Ignore the cat, he just jumped up here. What are you going to do? So this book covers Quoth, again, the same character as the first one, and his experiences in the university and outside it, and even possibly worlds beyond it. There are a lot of really interesting characters. It's very fast-paced. It's almost like there's 5 books in one because there's so many different scenarios that he gets himself into, but they're all so interesting. And again, not a single word is wasted in this book. One thing I really enjoyed about this book was that there are a lot of poems and songs and riddles, just like in the last book, but in this book they seem to have a lot more hints as to what could possibly happen in the next book. And I love that because now that I'm going to have to wait, no telling how long, to get the third book, I can sit around and think of theories. While a lot of the first book centered around Quoth having to find a way to get money for tuition and find a way to get money just to survive, this book is less focused on scrambling around for money and more focused on actually experiencing things without having to wonder about where his next meal is going to come from. I thought this was going to make this book less stressful, but it did not, because it is still so intense. This is also similar to the first book in the Kingkiller Chronicles series, The Name of the Wind, in that Quoth is telling his story to the chronicler with BAST, his assistant, there with him. Now, there are only a few chapters that actually have any interaction with the chronicler. The rest of the story, just like the first one, is him telling his story. If you have not read The Name of the Wind or The Wise Man's Fear, please stop watching this now, because the rest of this video is going to be full of spoilers, and I really don't want to ruin this for you, because trust me, you're not going to want anything to be spoiled, because you're just going to want to eat this up. I'm already planning on reading this again. This is a library copy, but I plan on going to buy my own copy, because I just can't live without these books. They're so good. So, some of these theories are my own. Some are ripped off the internet. My first theory is about Denna. You know, that girl that Quoth is hopelessly in love with, who is secretly hopelessly in love with him too, but she pretends she's not because she's so tortured, and she'd rather just date a bunch of guys for money. Wow. Apparently I don't like Denna very much. There are a few theories going around about her patron. One being that her patron is Cinder, and one being that her patron is Brennan. And honestly, I am kind of torn between the two, because there are hints at both. My gut originally is telling me that Brennan is actually her patron, because Patrick Rothfuss does not put characters in the stories that are not important. And I feel like Brennan was just oddly put into the story, and he was just really helpful for no reason, and then he just kind of went away, and it just didn't really make sense. Why would he be so willing to just share all this information with this newcomer in this world where one wrong move can get you shunned, killed, or robbed, or whatever rich people do? I don't know. I'm not rich. Let me go ahead and tell you why I thought it might be Brennan. Because Denna explains that her patron wears gray ash type colors, and they call him Master Ash as a nickname, because his name is so secretive. So whenever we first meet Brennan, he is described as having ashy hair, and I believe he's wearing gray whenever they meet the first time. Whenever Quoth is doing research into the gossip that's going around all the royalty people, so Quoth gets a letter saying that Brennan has been doing pagan rituals at night in the woods, which makes me think of Denna's patron, who is always sneaking in dark alleyways. My dog is drinking very loudly in the background. I'm sorry, she's so disgusting. But she's so cute, though. It also shows that Brennan's obviously hiding something, because he doesn't really discuss any of that stuff with Quoth. And he's sneaking around the woods and stuff. It's kind of suspicious. So Cinder is the one that I'm leaning more towards now, after reading someone else's theory that's smarter than me. So, for one, the name Cinder, and we call him Master Ash. Hello, Cinder, Ash. Yeah. Also, whenever Quoth goes into the Fae and he speaks to the tree, I don't know how to say it, but it starts with a C. He is told that Denna's patron beats her, sometimes with his walking stick. If you remember, whenever Quoth and his little crew attacked that bandit camp, the captain, suspiciously similar to what we believe Cinder to be, was shot in the leg. Somehow he got away and his body was never found. Bredon doesn't use a walking stick, but if Cinder was hit in the leg with an arrow, he might use a walking stick, which might be what he beats Dinah with. Wow, that's so depressing to think about. He's evil. Cinder is like one of the most cruel people ever. Dinah's patron is making her write a song about Lanray. We know that brings the Chandrian around, so Master Ash also sets up for Dinah to play at the wedding where everyone is killed by the Chandrian at the wedding. I mean, hello. So yeah, I'm pretty sure that Cinder is Dinah's patron. Although I don't understand how she would not, like, unless they're like exclusively just meeting in dark alleyways where she can't see his face. I don't know how she doesn't like think something is weird. But yeah, Dinah's not the bride anyway, so who knows. This is by far my favorite theory. I'm not taking credit for this one though, because this one I actually got from the Kingkiller wiki, and it's so awesome. I encourage you to go to that website if you're really into the book to read some of the theories, because this one is by far my favorite. There's obviously something going on with the Lackless family. Before I even read this theory, something was weird about the fact that Quoth met Meluan Lackless and immediately thought she looked really familiar, but he couldn't put his finger on it. It was just something. There's no reason why he should have said that really, unless it meant something. And so I'm convinced it's because Meluan is his aunt. I believe that his mother is Natalia Lackless. One of the reasons for that is the fact that Meluan looks like someone very familiar to him, which seems insignificant, but I just don't think it is. Meluan tells Quoth about the Ravels. Natalia runs off with people, and I think that Natalia is actually Quoth's mother. Arladin, Quoth's dad, and Lorianne, Quoth's mother, get into a little fake spat because Arladin writes this song about Lorianne, and I believe it alludes to the fact that she is actually Natalia Lackless, because the last line says, "It is worth my life to make my wife not Talia Lawless." Later on we find out that the Lackless family's last name is actually used to be Lockless, so if you read the last two lines quickly, listen to what it sounds like. To make my wife not Talia Lawless. Natalia Lockless, to make my wife Natalia Lockless. I think he's hinting at the fact that Natalia Lockless, or Lackless now, is his wife, Lorianne. So some undecided theories that I have, I would love to get comments on. I would like to know what your opinion on Illidan is, who he is, why he is like he is, what his story is. I'd also like to know your theory about Tarvalin the Great. Do you think he was real? Do you think he was, some people have said that he's Quoth, that has traveled through time, or that fell into the Fae and aged and came back, and there's all kinds of theories about who he is, but none of them have really intrigued me very much, so I'd like to hear what your theories are on that, because I'm drawing a blank. Anyways, those are the main theories that I have going on right now. I'm planning on reading the book about Ari. I can't remember what it's called, but I'm really excited to read it. It's really short, though. I don't know. I want more long books like this because they're so good. So thanks for watching Bum Like Books. Bye!